Hey guys, this is Nakul from SkillsIELTS. First of all, thank you so much for your support. And if you haven't subscribed the channel yet, kindly do subscribe. I promise I'm going to come up with a lot of new stuff, a lot of new videos that will definitely aid you with your preparation in IELTS examination. All right, so let's come to the topic of today's discussion. Today, we're going to talk about how to increase your score in IELTS writing. I know there are like so many videos in the YouTube which are definitely helping you understand your weakness. And today I'm gonna pick up a very peculiar thing, and the peculiar thing is about this. Well, a lot of us, we keep practicing, but let me tell you a reality: practicing will give you mental satisfaction. Well, practicing rightly will only give you the scores. There is a subtle difference between these two. That practicing a lot gives you mental satisfaction, and practicing wisely or rightly will get you the scores. Correct? So the very first step is understand why your scores are low. Kindly understand this. Well, if you haven't sat for the exam, well, like definitely fine. If you have already given a lot of examination, then stop giving examination. And the first thing is stop practicing. People, what they think, they end up practicing a lot and lot and lot, and they think they're ready for the exam for the fact that they have practiced a lot. Isn't it? And they give exam only to see same scores, and they become frustrated, and a lot of things gonna add there. The first step is stop practicing. Understand why your scores are low. Nakul, I'm not able to understand. Well, I'm going to explain you today in detail by picking up one particular thing. So the problem is understanding the problem, which a lot of people don't accept. Acceptance is the way of life, right? So well, I've been practicing, scores are not improving. Correct. So this is like a common one, and they end up saying IELTS, it's all scam. They don't give marks. If it's IELTS general, they don't give marks. Oh no, guys, don't say that. It's not like that. I'm going to help you understand. Maybe if you fall to that particular category today, what I'm going to discuss, if you fall to that particular category, then you would probably appreciate as to why you failed. This is the problem. Problem is understanding the problem. We don't understand our problem, and that is the bigger problem. Hope I'm not confusing you with a lot of puzzles. Fine, we will move on. Well, we all know this. A lot of people have helped us understand in the YouTube with respect. I mean, you will be evaluated with respect to task response, coherence, cohesion, lexical resource, grammar, and accuracy. Well, I believe so. It is given in IELTS manual. I mean, the scorecard as well. Fine. Each of things are like big chapters. In these, I'm going to pick one of the things, which is grammar and accuracy. Inside grammar and accuracy, I'm going to show you one of the things inside that and explain you where would you be making mistake. Correct? So you would be not, I mean, if you fall to that category, you'll be thinking always that, yes, I have written in perfect grammar, I have written it, all perfect, but there could be some loopholes because of which your scores would not be going up. All right, grammar accuracy, we can just divide it into subject-verb agreement, tenses, nominalization, models, the accuracy of the grammar, like using the nouns, adjectives effectively, or using it correctly or not, articles, comma, prepositions, adjectives, could be anything. I've just etc. That sums it up. And in this video, I'm going to talk about subject-verb agreement. This is a very common thing. Many of you would know this. If you're not aware of this, that's okay. I'm going to explain you in detail what exactly is that. Stay tuned till the end. So with respect to subject-verb agreement, where a person would do a mistake is what I'm going to help you out, understand your problem, and then I'll provide a solution as well. But if you belong to this category, then definitely you would make use of this in your next exam. Well, that's the intention. Fine, guys, we'll start with subject-verb agreement. So what is the subject-verb agreement? Let's question. Subject-verb agreement. Well, there's a person called subject, and there's a person called verb, and they sign a treaty. They both have hands. Just imagine they're going to take a pen and they sign a treaty, and that's a treaty. That's an agreement. So what is the rule of this agreement? Correct? So they have to abide by few rules. Subject is nothing but a noun, a person, could be an entity. Verb, yes, we all know what a verb is, and they both agree. Well, let me just go through it quickly. Let's see this. We go to beach, or we go to the beach. We is a subject, right? We, some people, like 5 of us, 5 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. We go to the beach. But if it becomes he, it is not he go to the beach. He goes to the beach. Why is that? Because it's English. Why can't we question it? Because we don't have the right color of the skin. Whatever they have done it, we have to just follow. That's how the English is. He goes to the beach, we go to the beach. Well, it's not just that. I'm going to explain you more in detail in just a while. But if you observe here, the go becomes goes, and it goes becomes go here. That is changing based on the subject. Correct? So I'll give you one more example before I take you to the main thing. Singular and plural nouns, for example, let's say this, the cars. The cars, we have two cars. That's a plural noun. It's like we go to the beach. The car is like he, singular, goes to the beach. Well, that's an auxiliary verb, that's a different chapter, but if you see verbs here, if it's plural, the verb will retain its form. Look is look only. This is only in the present tense, guys. Again, that's a big chapter. We'll talk about it later. In the present tense is what I'm talking about. Look will be retained if the plural noun is there. The look will not be retained as you're gonna add if it's a singular noun. So now, can we predict what is the rule? The rule is if there is a verb and there is a noun, and if this noun is singular, they both agree. If the noun is singular, they both agree that the verb will change its form. The verb will change its form. Yes, the verb L-O-O-K is changing its form by adding S. Correct? This is applicable only if a noun is singular, the verb will change its form. If the noun is plural, the verb will not change its form. Very simple thing. It's an agreement they've already made. I don't know who made it. Maybe Queen Elizabeth. I really have no idea. Maybe Shakespeare made it. I have no clue, but this is the rule. So let's see if we can leverage this rule and see in IELTS if we can do something. But well, before that, this is the chart. Very simple when I just made it. First person is I. If there are more than one person, it's we. Correct? If it's a first person, I like to eat. Nakul, I is singular, you said yes, but that will be applicable only to the third person. I'll explain you in detail. First person, second person, third person. If it's a first person, the verb will retain. You just make a sentence. I like to eat. Like to eat. I like. I like. You don't say I likes. I like. We like. So the verb will retain its form. If it's second person is you. It could be singular or plural. Both are you. You like to eat. You like to eat. Both are like. The verb will retain its form. But when it becomes third person, so what is a third person? Apart from I and you, your friend is the third person. The computer gonna be third person. This book gonna be third person. This mobile gonna be third person. Anything else is a third person. Hope you guys getting it. So he like to eat is wrong. He likes to eat. She likes to eat. It refers to a cat, dog, it could be anything it likes to eat. So when you're a third person singular noun, so whatever the noun we discussed so far, third person singular, car. Is it me? Nope. Is it you? Nope, it's car. Third person. The third person singular will change the verb form. Third person plural will not change the verb form. So just you have to identify if whatever the nouns you have used, if that noun is a third person singular. they, someone, I first person, you second person. If it is someone else, it's third person. They, it's a plural. The verb will retain. They like to eat. Computers like. Computers like, no change. The change will happen only when third person singular comes. Singular is computer stores. If you see here clearly, computers store, computer stores, computers store. Third person singular, you're gonna just add S. If it is do, it becomes does. If it is see, it becomes sees. If it is give, it becomes gives. Only for third person singular, the rule applies. The rest, the rule will not apply. Like. See, like, computer like, computers like, computers, they, you, I. Apart from third person singular, everything else will retain the verb form. Hope I didn't confuse. Hope it's clear to at least to some extent. Fine. We'll just move on and see third person singular takes the position. The verb will add S, will get S. So in a nutshell, well, so far, if you have not understood, it's still fine. I've got one more slide that will help you understand what exactly I'm talking about. In a nutshell, the third person singular noun takes the S form of the verb. He destroys. Third person singular. He, yes. Destroy is wrong. It has to be destroys. They, third person singular. No, it is not a third person singular. Third person plural. There is no S. So they destroys is wrong. They destroys correct. The ship. Is it one ship? Yes, the ship. Destroys is correct. Third person singular. The ships. Destroys is wrong. The ships destroy. They destroy. So just remember he, they, and any other word, you're gonna simplify it to he and they. Computer. Computer is like he. One computer. Stores. S will come. Computers is like they. Do you say they eats? They say they eat. They destroy. Third person plural. Stores is wrong. Hope you guys are getting it. The rule gets applicable. Verb, you're gonna add s only if it is third person singular. Let's do that now. We'll just continue with this, but it's not just that. There is a twist. If it was that simple, then everyone would have learned it so easily, isn't it? Well, we can learn it so easily only when we understand that traps. In the grammar, there are traps. Fine. We'll just see this. The car which belongs to my mom and dad is very expensive or are very expensive. This is the next step. This is where people go wrong. Even if they know the things which I've discussed so far, they may still get confused because this is a different type. The car which belongs to my mom and dad, dash. So now you need to see how many nouns are there. Let's understand this. The car which belongs to my dad and mom is very expensive, are very expensive. How many nouns are there? Noun. My mom, dad. Expensive is adjective, very is adverb. Fine. That's a different chapter. Again, how to identify nouns, adjectives, verbs, adverbs. Fine. The car is a noun, mom is noun, dad is noun. But Nakul, you didn't cover this. All you said was just this. If there is a noun, if there is a verb, just identify if the noun is third person singular. If it is third person singular, add s. But now there are three nouns. Which noun should I consider? There is another rule. We call this acting noun. The car, blah, 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 is this additional information. This verb is acting on this particular noun. The acting noun for this verb is car, not mom and dad. This requires a bit of logic and the context. The car, which blah, 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 blah. This acting is on this verb is acting on the car noun. The car is singular. This becomes is very expensive. Though mom and dad is like two people, it's plural, the verb is not acting on this. No, the verb is acting on the car. You need to know this. If you know this, then subject-verb agreement will never be a problem. You will never lose your marks in IELTS essay with respect to subject-verb agreement. If you're getting confused, just understand there's only one hero in the movie. Well, there are movies wherein there are more than one hero, but usually one hero will be there in the movie, isn't it? And the others, even if that guy is projecting to be a hero, he's always a hero friend or someone, isn't it? So this is hero friends. This guy is a hero. The action is being done by a hero, though there is a part given to hero's friends, you're not supposed to consider them. There are heroes and there are friends of a hero. You can identify the hero and give credit to the verb based on the hero, if it is singular or plural. Hope I'm not speaking in puzzles. Fine, I'll give you more clarity. But before that, before we actually go to a questionnaire of the IELTS essay, let's talk about something really important, indefinite pronoun. What is a definite? The meaning of definite is, yes, I'm definite, I'm certain, I'm sure about it. Indefinite, I'm not exactly sure about it. Indefinite pronouns which do not give you a particular quantity. They are called indefinite pronouns. We can divide them as singular indefinite pronouns and plural indefinite pronouns. Many is a plural indefinite pronouns. Few, plural indefinite pronouns. What about everybody? Should I say everybody is happy, or I should say everybody are happy? So that's the indefinite pronoun. I'm going to explain you that before we actually take up a question. So everybody, nobody, someone, everyone, anyone, anybody, they all will be considered as singular noun. It's like he eats, he is good, everybody is happy. So this is where a lot of people make mistakes. Nobody likes, nobody is, he likes, nobody likes. S has to be there because it's third person singular. It's a pronoun, but indefinite pronoun, singular indefinite pronoun, it's considered singular. Hope you guys are getting it. Everyone, everybody, it's all singular. Something smells, S you're gonna add. One of the is like one among the many. One of the noun will be plural. One of my friend is wrong actually. Additional information, one of my friends, but this entire thing is singular. It's only one among the many. So the next one will have a possession. Singular noun, he eats, he does. One of the case does, one of the case helps. Hope you guys getting it, how to understand the difference between singular indefinite pronoun and plural indefinite. Plural is like many, several, few. That's different. That is easy, but this is a bit different, difficult. Everybody is correct. Nobody is. Anybody is. Someone is. Everyone is. They're all singular. Hope you are getting it. Fine. Each of the members, each is also a singular indefinite pronoun. When you have a verb, you're going to add S. Don't forget that. All right. Fine. So we'll just take one example. Either is also singular. Either is fine. Either are fine. No, either is fine. All right. Let's quickly take this. I'll just explain you the problems. Everybody, I just told you it's a singular. Singular. He eats. Everybody eats. Everybody in this world are sad. Everybody in this world is sad. Well, if you're making this mistake, your scores will not reach 5.5 or 6, not more than that. It will not go. But you are thinking, hey, it's all perfect. I have used high-fi vocabulary, correct? But basics grammar mistake. Scores will not go up. Be very careful. All right. Everyone is sad at one point or the other, but the most important thing we need to note, the verb, the helping verb is this, acting noun, but the most important thing. We need to blah, 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 blah. This is additional information. So this has to be is. Acting on thing, singular. The news. Okay, I didn't cover that because it's a very big chapter, Well, like in our coaching, right? The subject verb agreement itself is like 2-hour video. It's like 2-hour class. It's a very big thing. News, uncountable now. The news is good, not news are. So there are a lot of things. News in the television about the flood was, that's correct. Not were. Were is wrong here, additional information. But there was some people. Well, if I'm asking you, where is this was acting on? It's acting on people. It need not be in the left to right, from the left to right. It could be anywhere. There were some people. This becomes were. If you're writing there was some people not getting marks and you're wondering why IELTS marks is not going up, isn't it? There were some people who never gave a thought about the flood. Such people is like they. Now after they, third person, it's not singular. The verb will retain. Live. Lives is wrong. Such people live a happy life because they're too strong to be shackled by anything. When such people rule, not rules. We can expect only disaster for the entire. Well, simple things, very simple things. Well, you have the knowledge now. Well, if you didn't know this, let's learn this and project it in your essays. All right, I've got the actual IELTS essay. I've taken one paragraph. This is about this necessity of long working hours to live a lavish life keeps every parent busy in the work. Okay, I'll give you 1 minute of your time. Identify the mistakes. I'll give you 1 minute, guys. Or I can just pause the video and do it if it's still doing it. Well, I explain the necessity of long working hours. 1 second. Yep. To live a lavish life keeps, there is a verb in its present tense. What does the rule says? Find the noun, acting noun. How many nouns are there? The necessity is a noun. the necessity. There is a way to identify the nouns, adjectives, verbs, adverbs. That session will help you understand things, things clear. The necessity of long working hours to live a life keeps the two nouns. This is a noun, this is a noun. This verb is acting on which noun? You ask that question, you will understand. The necessity of long working hours to do something. This something is not acting on the next verb. To do something, I don't care what is that. The necessity of long working hours keeps keeps. Is this correct or not? The necessity of something to live a lavish life keeps. This is correct. S. The necessity of something to live a lavish life keeps. So this is he eats. All right, necessity keeps. That's perfect. Every parent busy in the work. As a result, children are often ignored by the parents, and this lack of attention. Leave present tense. All right, what does the rule says? Identify the acting noun. Ignored by the parents, and this lack of attention. Leave. This lack of attention. This, the word itself is a singular. This pen, this attention. So it's a singular. It's like he eats has to come. Correct, he eats. Leave we have written, that's wrong. You're going to lose a lot of marks because of that. It has to be lifts the kid, with an option to choose what greatly interests him. Interest is acting as a verb there. Will this interest you? Something like that, correct? With an option to choose what greatly interest whom, interest him. Him is a singular, it's like he. So S has to be added. Interests. So for the two mistakes, leaves and interests. As gadgets can be easily accessible, it is like he. Cat, it, he eats, he leaves, it leaves no time, not live, it leaves no time for them to play on the fields, and thus they, you don't say they eats. Third person plural. Third person plural, no rule as such, so spends is wrong. Spend is correct. So many mistakes in one paragraph. And this person thinks I have to get 9 because I practiced. Well, practicing is making the same mistake. Then how will the scores go up? This could be one of the things. There could be plenty of them with respect to grammar, with respect to lexical resource, with respect to coherence, cohesion, and with respect to task response achievement. So don't just dive into a conclusion that you have done everything correct. Accept that there are some mistakes in making and seek support, or try to understand where exactly you're going wrong. Practicing is not going to help you unless you understand where exactly you're going. So practice rightly. In this one, there are 4 mistakes. Like I again explain you, this lack of attention leaves the kid. What greatly interests him, it leaves no time, and thus they spend. A small paragraph like this can give you 5.5 to 6. Just with respect to grammar, a small paragraph. Just imagine if you're making similar mistakes in the rest of the paragraph, in letter writing, in essay, 4 to 5 paragraphs people write, the scores are perfect. I mean 6 is fine because you're making mistakes. Fine guys, I've made an attempt to explain you understand. This could be one of the reasons. Well, if you think, oh Nakul, I knew all these things, then you don't belong to this particular category. And still if you're getting 6, it could be something else. It could be not just this, but like I told you, there are few things like this one. It could be tenses. You're using a wrong form of a tenses. You could be using a continuous tenses wherein simple present is required. He is brushing his teeth. He brushes his teeth. The facts need to be in simple tense. I'm going to make the video soon. Nominalization, models, and it could be so many things. This is with respect to grammar alone, correct? You could be making a mistake with respect to these as well. So only when you understand where exactly you're going wrong, then only you understand how much of it you have to improve. And then you improve on that, then you give exam, scores have to improve. Saying this, I'm going to end this. Thank you so much for your time. I think that's all I've got today. Let me just check. Just give me a second. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for your support as well. If you haven't subscribed the video yet, kindly do subscribe. I'm going to promise, I promise that I'm going to come up with a lot of videos, something like this. And if you want coaching, you can always check the link in the description. Thank you so much, each and everyone. Thank you so much. Take care.